gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Automated Millionaire video/podcast. Hi, I'm Mikhail Pitzner. I'm also known as the Automated Millionaire. I'm the founder and creator of all the courses and programs offered at the automatedmillionaire.com. I help small and medium-sized businesses, and I help the business owners and the teams to make a better business, to make a lot more money, sometimes a lot more money, and I do so without them having to work harder. In actual fact, it becomes a lot easier, and I do it by implementing a special system, a unique system that I call the Automated Millionaire Business System. Now, we are in a series of podcasts here. This particular series, we're talking about the mistakes that business owners make. The episodes in this series have come not in any particular order, but a lot of the integral parts and bits and pieces, they all kind of fit in together. So I definitely invite you to listen or watch in on previous episodes if you have not already done so. If you're new here, I welcome you warmly, and if you're returning, I'm really very, very grateful that you're here again. In this particular episode, what we'll talk about is the mistake of making assumptions. We probably all know the acronym of assumptions, what it does. It makes an ASS out of you and out of me. And I want you to adopt the notion of never making assumptions. It's very easy, especially because as business owners, we are used to making, we're used to doing actions. We're used to taking some sort of responsibility to start a new business or to go and make things happen, to have a drive that very often most employees don't have. Most employees, they kind of show up and clock in and clock out, and they do their things that they are supposed to do during the work hours and so on. But they don't really drive themselves in the same capacity, in the same manner as business owners typically do. And I say typically because I don't want to offend anybody, but that's typically how I see things. That as a business owner, you are a little bit more entrepreneurial, which means that you understand that to get things going, to make things happen, you probably have to make them happen, right? So as a business owner, I also feel like it's very easy to make assumptions. Oh, I bet this is the reason that so-and-so happened. Oh, I bet we are, not doing the results over here because so-and-so. Oh, I bet that they're coming up short because of so-and-so and so on. But we are very typically, very quickly actually making assumptions without really knowing. Now, granted, very often we may be totally correct in our assumptions, but I want to really stress the point of not making assumptions. It's a huge, grave mistake. Instead, what I would like to, and this is my fix to it, is you ask more questions. So instead of assuming, you ask questions, and you ask deeper questions, and you say, well, can you show some report on that? Why are we not making sales? Well, it's because Jim and Jim and Richard, they are not doing what they're supposed to, or it's because hey, Patrick, our new guy, and so on, he's really bad at it, and so on. And then instead, you want to make sure that you go in and kind of like really drill down to saying, well, what's being done? If you think there's a quality issue, let's say it's an issue about not being good enough, well, now you can make some test calls. You can supervise some calls. You can listen in what's being said and so on. Maybe you have a script, maybe you don't have a script, but you can quickly get a real true feeling for, is this new guy, Patrick, is he really sucking at his job? And maybe you'll actually find that he's actually really, really good. He has a certain flair for meeting the client. He has an empathy, and he has all the right words. He's very good closer. He's actually a very good way of getting them committed to the product and so on. But maybe you'll find that it's because there's actually too few calls done. Maybe the process of handing over, expediting, the order came in and so on. Maybe there's too many steps that really just should be handed off to somebody else. And because Patrick is actually that good at what he does, maybe he should make 2 or 3 times calls more, and then somebody else would take it from there once he's closed the deal. So again, the main point is be careful making assumptions. I see the same thing in my personal life. If I quickly draw an assumption, I'll soon enough be in trouble because that assumption may or may often not be correct. And so now all of a sudden I'm basically accusing the other person of doing this or doing that or something, when in fact it has nothing to do with the truth. But I didn't bother to slow down a moment saying, well, maybe I don't know all of it. Maybe you need to inquire further. I hope this can serve you well. I think it can, because I think we all a little bit have the same sentiment about things, and I think we have a little bit of the same psychology and the same way of behaving, and so on. We all tend to make assumptions quickly, and so I implore you, or certainly invite you, to stop up for a moment and think about, okay, am I doing a lot of assumptions? Should I perhaps instead say, oh, before I make and draw conclusions, maybe I ask a few more questions, maybe I dive a little bit deeper, and maybe I'll find that the underlying hindrance or obstacle to my next goal or to reaching the goal that I set out is because of a completely other thing that is a fixable thing, but I never took care of it because I made an assumption and soon enough ruled out some people or whatever the situation is. I hope you liked this episode. I would love to see a hit on the like button. I hope that you'll subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so. And by all means, I hope that you might share this channel with some other people in the business sense that might need it or that it might help. I'm Mikkel Pitsner, also known as the Automated Millionaire. And for more information and for some free training and free resources, you can visit my website, theautomatedmillionaire.com. Certainly very welcome, and I'm very thankful for your time here today, and I hope to see you in tomorrow's episode. Thank you so much.